Hey, Leo, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your December 2024 career and money reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Leo, I'm hearing you made it. You made it. So for some of you, you made it through the year. Okay, maybe 2024 was a difficult year for you financially or career-wise. For others of you, you made it through maybe an interview process where you finally have the green light. For some of you, you made it through a project or a creative endeavor, and now you're getting ready to launch in 2025. Yeah, you made it. So I feel like there is celebration coming in here, some form of celebration showing up for your hard work. That could also be someone in spirit. For some of you, you have a loved one who's crossed over. I'm getting it could be a father, could be a parent, but you have a loved one in spirit who is with you, celebrating your success or helping you move towards abundance, move towards success. And there is the celebration, 3 of Cups. It says reasons to celebrate, a community of friends, happy announcements, beautiful. So this could have already happened for you. You may have already received the green light, or it's about to. Even though this is in the recent past position, it almost feels like you were building up to this. I don't feel like it's just showing up out of the blue. I feel like you've worked hard for this. Even though I see the luck card, you've created this because you didn't give up on yourself. You didn't give up on your goals, your career, your finances. And I feel like now you get to rest a little bit. Okay, you have the 4 of Swords showing up in the near future. So this could be a month to rest and prepare, because I have a feeling the beginning of 2025 is going to be very, very busy for you. Now, some of you were cautioned around a certain person or an organization because you have the caution with the mask out here, and it's with the anchor as well. So it could have been that you were dealing with or working with shady people, people who may have not been honest, or they were robbing you in a sense. I have the word theft, maybe robbing you of your time, robbing you of, I'm getting dignity. Maybe someone has been stripped of their dignity, and or it would have been that way if you would have continued moving forward when you knew that it wasn't right for you. And I feel like there's something else better, something better for you here. Bottom of the deck, look at that. You have the Death card, peace, endings bringing in new beginnings. And it says, release the past. There is a more enriching future coming. Let go and let God. I used to love when I heard Wayne Dyer say that very phrase, that same phrase, let go and let God, because there is something here that is coming to an end, and you've worked hard to get to where you are. And I don't feel like it's stopping right here. You have a whole bright future ahead of you. Thank you, Spirit. I'm getting the name Candace. Okay, Candace or Candy could be significant. And I'm also getting with the peace, it feels like there's more of that. There's more where that came from. And I feel like the true definition of peace is when everything is noisy around you, but you're able to stay calm and stay centered. That is true peace within. And I also see that things externally are calming down a bit for you as well, because you may have been dealing with some gossipers, people who were holding you back, a company or situation, or even a belief system. Because it says you've been making caution or using caution when making financial decisions. Careful not to overspend on wants instead of needs. That can be hard to do in the month of December if you are into the holiday season and it's a time for gift giving and spending time with loved ones. This is really important that you set a budget this month and try not to go over that budget if you are able to gift others. If not, this goes with your time as well, your time and your boundaries. Try not to overdo it. There could be more going out than coming in, or that was the case in the past. And maybe that's why I'm hearing that phrase, you made it. Like you made it, you did it, you got through, and now there is an opportunity coming in. That's what I was feeling here in the very beginning, and that's what's showing up in your outcome. So I know that there is a new opportunity to kind of rid yourself of whatever the mask was for you, whatever was anchoring you back. And this could even be bits and parts of ourselves that we tend to shy back into, that we don't want other people to see, that we fear, right? Judgments or criticisms, or what if I'm not enough? This can be imposter syndrome. But I feel like you are pushing through that. You made it to the other side here. And that's what I'm getting, is making it to the other side, but you're still kind of straddling that line. You're still between worlds. You're still not quite out of 2024 and into 2025, but I definitely feel like there is a new energy that's already ushered in before the end of the year. All right. So some of you could be actors. Some of you could be actors, influencers. You could be someone who influences others. Okay. Maybe you're an influencer, you're on social media. This is also about hidden potential. And it may be through a block that you've had, some sort of stuck energy or a challenge, that you were able to truly tap into this potential, this spiritual gift. I also see some of you, you had the task of embracing the unknown. And maybe that's what 2024 was all about, because they keep referencing 2024. So I feel like it's not just the past of November or October. I feel like this has to do with the entirety of the year. May have been a big old roller coaster for you, Leo. And I see you saving, okay? Maybe you were saving your pennies, saving everything that you could. Maybe you were living off savings. Perhaps there was something cautioning you to be mindful of your spending. But now I see with the anchor, there's something being lifted here for you. You may be more financially sound. Some of you, there's more stability coming in, more of that peace. Okay, you may be traveling. Travel could be part of your work. This could be water related for some of you. The water could be your peaceful place. But you have the ring and you have the luck. When these two show up together, this is a beautiful energy of prosperity and long-term commitments. There's an investment here, a long-term investment that is part of this next chapter of your financial journey, next chapter of your career. And this is a financial commitment that's going to be fulfilling. And I feel long-term for you as well. Yeah, long-term, because you're starting off, you have 4 pentacles out here. And you're starting off, with the pentacle that I absolutely love here, the 9 of Pentacles. So I see that you've worked your way to the top in a sense, or you're getting closer, and you made it for some of you. But I feel like now you're able to enjoy some of the fruits of your hard labor. There's a partnership potentially coming in or working together. And that looks to be your outcome energy as well. Collaboration, teamwork, networking, community, group efforts, client to client. This is a really beautiful energy of finally feeling like you have the right people at the right table, the people that support you, that you support. So I see the ring as some sort of community, project, idea, organization, partnership coming together. The luck card says anything that you do now will be very prosperous. If you believe that you're lucky, you'll create an abundant mindset, right? The power of the mind is profound, Leo. Your perspectives, right? Your perspectives are changing because there may have been a perspective that you had in the past that was cautioning you, right? It may have been stamping on your luck. It may have been stifling your growth, and you received a bit of an aha moment. Some of you, you received a like breakthrough or an epiphany. Thank you, Spirit. You received an epiphany where Spirit is saying, okay, we need to change that thinking. We need to change that mindset because it's stifling you. And I feel like that's what you did. You listened, and now you're being rewarded for it. Bottom of the deck, this is beautiful because this came up after that message of you did it or you made it came in. This is showing up at the bottom of the deck, take off. The takeoff card. It's like launch. He's made it, right? He has his arms in the air. He's excited. It says things will take off much sooner than you expected. And it says here, there's no stopping you now. So I feel like there's a little bit of a pause. There's a little bit of a breath of relief. There's a little bit of some downtime, some peace, some non-action for you. Get ready because bottom of the deck, this is go time, but it's not quite yet. I feel like 2025, maybe the end of January into February could really be launch and takeoff time for you. So allow yourself to really sit with some beauty, sit with some peace. All right. Diving into the tarot, your Celtic cross, you have the 9 of Pence, one of my favorite minor arcanas. Because the 9 of Pentacles creates a life that she loves, a life that she's proud of. She is someone who is wealthy, right? Because she's worked hard for her wealth, but she's also rich in resources, rich in so many other ways aside from just money. And it does say your dreams are being fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. A love for the beautiful things in life. And Leo, this is giving me strong Venus vibes. So some of you may even have some Taurus or some Libra in your chart, but I am getting enjoying the beautiful things in life, being able to get back to a place of maybe simplicity or relaxation, beauty, being able to enjoy some of the finer things that you feel uplift your soul. And you see the rainbow coming in. When does a rainbow come in? After the storm. So it's definitely been stormy, but you made it. I love that for you. What's crossing your path is the 4 of Pentacles. When you give, you also receive. There's still some change here. There's still some change that you're working through because there can be a bit of a resistance to change. But because this is actually showing up, crossing your path, I'm going to read it as it's in the reverse. And I feel like there's more wiggle room. There's more leeway when it comes to change because some of you are hanging on very tightly. That's why the anchor's here. This could be subconsciously you were hanging on to something. Maybe you didn't really want to, but subconsciously you had a belief that was telling you have to hang on. This is the only way. And that's where that epiphany or breakthrough came in saying, whoa, wait a second, Leo. We're cautioning you here. Pay attention to that mind. Pay attention to the overthinking things. Pay attention to what your intuition is really guiding you to do at this time instead of letting the noise come in and bog you down. And I do feel like you used caution here and you really showed up for yourself is what I'm getting. Extremes in how you save or spend money. Remember that roller coaster I talked about in 2024? This is you kind of letting go of perhaps the belief of not having enough or scarcity or poverty conscious mindset, right? The lack of mentality, which can really get us in a big pickle. And I feel like there was a time throughout the year that you really dropped into that fear-based collective energy of not enough, of consumerism, materialism, the lack of It almost feels like a drought type of energy, or what if I have to hoard, I have to save everything, I have to stay anchored to this so tight because if I lose it, then what? And I feel like you are loosening that grip. I feel like there is a loosening here of change or allowing flow to enter your world instead of cutting off that flow. Because when we come from a place of fear, and we feel like this is an individual well that we're tapping into, but then fear comes in and it kinks the hose versus the universal tap of flow, right? It's something unlimited that we always have access to. And I feel like you're now really understanding and aware of the difference. So I'm proud of you. That's a big moment here for you. What's below you? 8 of Pentacles, hard work, mastery, skill. It can be perfectionism. So be mindful of that, Leo. Now, I do see here with this 8 of Pentacles, you're taking great pride, which you should, because you're good at what you do. You take pride in your excellent work. You may be the best in your field. You may really have received some high accolades here. And if you haven't, I feel like you're going to. You've made it. And it feels like you're going to be recompensed. You're going to be rewarded in some way for your mastery, for your skill. Some of you could even consider getting additional training or education or learning how to do something in a new way with this 8 of Pentacles, gaining knowledge, craftsmanship. And it's also the card of experimentation. And I feel like this, because this is in your root position, this is in your foundation, Leo, you're not afraid to experiment, or at least that's the message here for you. Don't be afraid to step outside the box. But that may have been a challenge for people that you worked with or people that you currently work with. It's like you have ideas, you have skills. They're not appreciating them. They're holding you back from really activating that skill set of yours. And if that's the case, Spirit may be cautioning you, saying, well, maybe this isn't the best position to be in, but you made it this far. You didn't make it this far just to get this far. Maybe it's time to pivot because there's a new opportunity coming in for you. Leo, recent past, you do have the 3 of Cups. Now, as this card came out, yes, I see celebration here, but I'm also getting someone feeling a little bit left out on the sidelines. So even though there's reasons to celebrate, happy announcements, perhaps someone felt like they were on the outside looking in, or they felt kind of ostracized in a sense where, okay, everybody else is celebrating a win or happiness. When's it going to be my turn? And maybe that's something that motivated you to really make some change, make some stride. Maybe this was part of that epiphany that came through so you can fully raise up here. There may have even been a social event that you attended or went to in the recent past that changed your perspective. Change your perspective on your career, on your money, or your finances. I also see some of you may be following a financial guru. Okay, I'm getting financial guru. So someone who maybe writes books about money or talks about money. Maybe Dave Ramsey or Kohler is another really good one. But so you could be looking at ways to save or invest or stocks or, something here that has to do with financial well-being, financial abundance. I feel like you could be looking into and learning, discovering, or experimenting with. Now, what's above you is the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is decision time. So again, there's some sort of decision or options available to you. And I feel like you don't necessarily have to make a rash, instant decision right away. It almost feels like Spirit is saying, sit with something here for a bit. Because you have the 4 of Swords showing up. This is going to be insights that come from quiet meditation. It's going to be a little need for sleep, for some time off, seeking relief from stress. But I do see here that it's important to be clear on what you want, and then the action comes. And that's the theme of your reading here is, there's action right at the bottom of the deck. But you don't want to manifest from that place of fear, because then you could be repeating a cycle if there are lessons unlearned. And I see here that you're going to give yourself that downtime. You've made it this far. And I see a need for detoxification, a need for getting out of limitations, limiting beliefs. Remember, this caution tape is coming up. And I feel like this is spirit cautioning you, saying, be mindful of all the paths ahead, because some of them could be dressed up in a pretty pink bow, right? But if you're chasing after the shiny things that are right in front of you, they could be superficial. You might have to go digging a little bit. And by digging, really trusting in your intuition. You could be heading up to an old dungy door, but when you walk in, it's like the land before time, right? It's the other land. And I feel like it's important not to judge a book by its cover, so to speak, or not to cast judgments upon a situation without doing your research. So detox from judgments, detox from the noise, and allow yourself in the near future to pause before you rush into something, because oftentimes our first initial response is based on our conditions, right? Right away, the body comes in and says, wait, we've been through that before, or the mind comes in and says, we're going to protect you. This is the first initial response. But then we have to take a little bit of a step back and say, wait a second, is this my conditioning? Is this my belief? What do I need to do to truly tap in and receive insight? And it's through the quiet times. It's through taking a step back from the problem in order to find a solution. So take some time for you this month. Rest, relax, rejuvenate. I'm getting here soaking. So some of you, it could be soaking in a bath or a hot tub. Maybe if you have a pool, or maybe you do the ice baths. I mean, if that's your thing, okay. But I feel like it's important to soak. And maybe that's part of the detoxification. I'm also getting warmth here for you. Okay, so maybe this is sauna as well. Maybe you're purging through sauna or red light therapy, something of that nature. Because I'm seeing the different lighting up top here through the lanterns. And I also see the water trickling. But someone needs a break from their mind. You may be overdoing it with the mental department here. How are you feeling? 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups is seeking out other possibilities, looking for the magic in life, and being aware of your emotions as well. So again, 4s, double 4s showing up, talk about stability. So it's important this month that you recoup, because there is going to be some action coming in for you come the beginning of the new year. And I feel like it's important that you allow yourself some time to maybe absorb everything that you've done. But I like the 9 of Pentacles showing up here. Remember, the 9 of Pentacles is creating a life that you love. But sometimes you get to that point, and because that adrenaline, that high of constantly being in that fight or flight, it wears off, or not wears off, but it gets to the point where when we slow down, it's like, wait a second, where is that? I need more of it. I need to create more of that fight or flight. So it feels like you're unlearning some behaviors here. And it may be that there's a turning point, a huge turning point when it comes to your past energy. Some of you were really stuck in some frustration or boredom, impatience, emotional, again, stagnation, or whatever you were stuck in here. Maybe it was stuck in a lack, stuck in, resistance. Things were not changing and you wanted them to, right? You wanted them to. And maybe that's why that first message out was, you've made it. Because I definitely feel like there is a turning point coming in. And you could see action, as soon as the mid to end of December, but allow yourself that downtime and enjoy the fruits of your labor, or enjoy the time to yourself if you're able to. Make that a priority. Now, what's going on in your environment is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is all about integrity, wisdom, objectivity, and those are important at this time for you, Leo. There's a situation that does call for open and honest communication. So I see here you could be connecting to a king, you could be connecting to a boss or someone who is going to tell you straight to the point, right? You've been hired, or we want to work with you, or you've received the go-ahead for this loan. It could be someone that's going to tell you how it is. They're not going to sugarcoat it. This is someone who's very respected, very ambitious, very rational, and very principled. And I also see there's going to be a new offer coming up. I feel like this is a new offer here based on whatever this King of Swords says. So if this is someone you've been dealing with in the past and you receive a message or communication that you don't necessarily want to hear, but it's for your highest good because that's going to project you into a new beginning, then accept that, because I see that there's an opportunity here. This could be someone who comes in and he is well respected and he's going to, bring communication that does call for honesty and openness, and you can trust this communication. Excuse me, because I feel like you want to know. It's better to live in truth than in a lie. And for some of you, the mask here says that there was some sort of lie or dishonesty. Okay, and maybe this is you, King of Swords, getting real with yourself about what it's going to take moving into this next chapter of your life. What are the hopes and fears? 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is overburdening yourself. Excuse me. Maybe some of you have already gone through this. This can be asking your angels for helpful people to lighten your load. You may have been working way too many hours trying to please way too many people. That's why there's an ending here coming up for you. Maybe an ending to the hustle bustle, an ending to the noise. I'm also getting the static. So for some of you, perhaps you felt disconnected from your intuition because of the static, but I feel like you're tuning something in. It's like a radio station. You're tuning in and you're connecting to the frequency. It's like you have good reception now. And the hope is that you can bring in others to lighten the load. The hope is that you don't have to weigh the weight of the world on your shoulders all the time. This is about unburdening and being able to relax, because some of you are physically exhausted. And I see with that 9 of Pentacles, you have the ability to do so. 4 of Swords, you have the ability to do so. But maybe it's that, excuse me, that part of our mind that tells us we have to keep going, don't stop. And I feel it's important for you to retrain or reprogram that part of yourself. Now, what is the outcome here, Leo? The outcome: career, money, finances, wealth, abundance. You have the Page of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles. Beautiful combination for your outcome. There is a new emotional experience here coming in for you, a new opportunity. Pages represent news and they represent communication. There's a message coming in regarding a social invitation. So this could certainly be an invitation to collaborate and work with others. This could be the green light to move forward on a project or in a company, doing what you love, right? A time of great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavors, working with others in a cooperative manner. And there's the curiosity, there's the experimentation. Because again, we have the 9 of Pentacles and we have the 8 of Pentacles and the 3, those are great pentacles, right? But what we have crossing you is the 4. So it's letting go of the mindset that you don't have enough help or resources, or there's a lack of mentality. It's like you're loosening the grip here. And once you do, I mean, she's sitting on that magic carpet. And I feel like you're about to go for a ride here. You see the angel right behind her. And I feel like you are focusing on growth and focusing on, getting to a place that you really love, Leo, a place that you feel proud of, a place that you are very successful in. You're someone who's open-hearted and dreamy and loving and gentle and kind. So I do definitely feel like you have some intuitive insights and hits coming in. And it could be from you. It could be from your team, your spiritual team here. It could be someone around you that you're talking to really opens up a part of yourself that may have been hidden. And I feel like you have some great people here that are coming into your realm. So definitely be on the lookout for a message, an invitation, or a new opportunity to collaborate and show your skills, showcase your talents. Let's get a message here from the Wisdom of the Oracle. What do we have, please, for Leo? Leo, Wisdom of the Oracle. Building blocks, card 28. Some of you may be 28 years old or born on the 28th. The building blocks card. This is all about strong foundations. It's a beautiful work in progress. You have everything you need to turn iron into gold. In the alchemical process of creating the prosperous life you desire. Now is the time to build on the strong foundation that you have already laid for your prosperity. Keep in mind that these building blocks are imbued with the sparkling energy of your intentions. Own your dream and remember that you always have more than enough and you are always enough. So abundance is ever present. Your creativity is divinely inspired and the design for your life is taking shape in service to the world. You are born and you are meant for success. Beautiful. You're definitely meant for success here. So I am going to read the protection message, even though I feel like a lot of you are addressing the cracks in the foundation. Remember, Four of Pentacles is foundational. It really is. So I'm going to take a look at the protection message because some of you are still working on addressing the cracks and you may have some stuff that's still holding you back, as we mentioned, some final things to work through as we wind down the rest of the year. When you see, let's see here, now is the time to address the cracks in the foundation of your life. Perhaps your values have changed and it's time to strengthen your convictions and let go of the things that no longer serve the vision that you have for your life. Or perhaps you chose to ignore the signs that a situation or agreement that you have entered into is not right for you. That could be that caution. So some of you, yes, you chose to ignore some signs. For others of you, you listened, and that's why you are taking action here. Remove the rotten pieces and reinforce your core moral strength and integrity. There's that King of Swords, morals and integrity. Now is the time for rigorous honesty, for you are called to renovate and upgrade your consciousness. Beautiful. I love that. Renovate and upgrade your consciousness. You will be so happy when you do so. Spirit has a spectacular blueprint for your life far beyond your imagination. Don't be afraid to replace what's not solid. Absolutely. Because it's important to do that, right? It's important to address the cracks. Otherwise, if you continue building and when things do tend to pressurize, it's not going to be sustainable. It's going to all crack down. It's going to all break down. And so it's important for you to pause and reflect. Instead of continuing to build, we need to take a look at the baseline. What needs to be addressed at this time? That's what I see you doing. All right, Leo, let's get a few messages from your spirit animals. And if you can at this time, if you can safely do so, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep inhale from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big deep breath in. Hold it as long as you can. And release with a nice big sigh through your mouth. And with your eyes still closed, please tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky. It could be an animal that swims deep in the sea. Perhaps your animal is wild, magical, mystical, or even domesticated. This could be a pet that's crossed over the rainbow bridge. One that's recently crossed your path in the great outdoors. Or maybe even a companion animal that you have by your side or at your home. There is no right or wrong answer, Leo. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do, Leo, is drop your animals in the comment section below the video, where I draw one winner around the first of the month. So all you need to do, drop your animal below and hit that subscribe and bell button. All right. Now, I've seen the hedgehog. The hedgehog is not in this deck, but some of you may have seen a hedgehog. Okay. That can be protection. That can be grounding. Now, we have the beaver. The beaver, card 6, says lay a solid foundation. Thank you, building blocks. We're certainly working on that, beaver. So some of you may be born on the 6th. You may be born on the 29th. You may be 41 years old or 58 years old or turning those ages soon, possibly in 2025. So I do see you laying that solid foundation here. Giraffe reminds you to see the big picture, right? See the big picture, and we can only do so sometimes by taking a step back in order to see it from that higher viewpoint. And that's what I was getting here in the beginning for you. Rising above the blocks, being able to invest and commit to some long-term goals. So that's what you're doing here, is you're taking a step back from the noise, from the fray. And I feel like you're also enjoying some downtime, enjoying the fruits of your labor. You have Nightingale spirit. Nightingale reminds you that love is all around. It also is a card of frequency. It's an energy here of all the musical notes going out into the universe. So what you put out there, you're going to receive. So be sure that you're keeping your thoughts and your mind positive, right? And whenever I say that, I want to remind you, it's not about toxic positivity. It's not about blowing under the rug everything that's challenging or difficult, but it is about being aware of your thoughts, being aware of how you speak to yourself, how you speak to others, being aware of your beliefs about money, your beliefs about financial stability, and most importantly, that 4 of Pentacles, which is resources and stability, right? And protecting your own integrity. So be mindful of the frequencies that you're putting out there and receiving. And then lastly here, we do have the stag. The stag, card 58, says take the lead, right? Take the lead. And that's where I see you moving into come Capricorn season even, is really being able to take that lead and move forward into the year on a high note. So I know that you're getting there here, something taking off in a big way for you. And I definitely feel like you're going to move forward and there will be no stopping you. It'll be like that dominoes effect. Why? Because you've set a strong, firm foundation. You've addressed some cracks. And now you don't have to go back and readdress right in the midst of doing some really amazing things. You're going to take off, and I feel like you're really going to fly here. Beautiful. All right, finally, let's get some messages from your soul's truth. What's some soul work that you can do at this time to really help you get into that mindset and bring in the abundance that you seek? Am I clear on what my soul really wants? Take out the shoulds, Leo, and the limitations. Get out of your head. Pay attention to your heart's desires instead. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, go with all your heart. Today's soul action. Ask yourself, what is it that your soul really wants? What does your heart crave? Then take one step in that direction. Does your heart crave rest? Right? Does your heart crave connection, collaboration, peace? It's important for you to listen. Listen to the heart at this time. And then lastly, what passion are you ready to pursue? Your passions will continually lead you to your purpose. What passions have you put to the side, given up on, or buried? What passion is ready to come alive within you? Ever since I was a young girl, I've always been able to see things and feel energies and tune in. And there was a lot of noise, a lot of external noise when I was younger. And what I mean by that is things were very challenging, very tumultuous, but I always tuned into my passion of spirituality and trusting in the divine, trusting in the unseen forces, right? And as I grew, as I was conditioned, especially in my teenage years, I wanted to kind of put that aside and just be like everyone else, right? And I tended to kind of move forward on this path, but there was always this passion, this deep longing over here. And finally, it was my early 20s that I reignited back to that passionate peace within myself and reawakened those spiritual gifts that I suppressed due to conditioning and the noise, right? It kind of ebbed and flowed a little bit. There were times that I really leaned on it as a small girl. And then as I navigated through, grade school, middle school, high school, I tended to kind of veer off and spread my wings elsewhere. But luckily, early 20s reignited with that. And as I morphed into the different decades, right, I allowed that passion to really come alive within me and lead me to the purpose, which is here, helping you all, helping the planet evolve. So trust in those passions, even if it goes back to when you were very young, right? And even if it's something that you've put on the back burner deep within you, Leo, write a list of the passions to which you want to give life to right now, right? I remember, always being in love with astrology, being in love with the mystical, right? And the ghostly, and, really having a niche for that spiritual side, the occult side, and then really growing and enhancing in it. So wherever you feel called, it doesn't matter if you are 21 or 91. If you feel that call, if you feel that you have a deep passion, a deep curiosity for something here, don't be afraid to discover it and even uncover it once again. Write a list of the passions to which you want to give life to right now. Then journal. How can you incorporate more of what you are passionate about into your daily life? Because then it becomes the everyday norm, right? Then it becomes something that you don't have to choose, right? And that's something, luckily, I learned at a very young age is, hey, I don't have to choose this conditioned side to fit in. But it took a little bit of time to really integrate the two because I fear judgment. What is everybody going to think of me if I tell them I can see things that they can't, right? If I can feel things and know things that they can't, they're going to think I'm crazy. My family said I was a Fruit Loop that got out of the box, right? So it finally came to that point where I was able to integrate my gifts into my everyday life. And now it's never second guess. It's never something I would hold back on ever. And I feel for some of you, You are in the midst of that integration process. Or for some of you, there's still some deep subconscious fears that may be bubbling up to the surface. And I feel like 2025 is you letting it all out there, right? Coming out of that closet, so to speak, with something passion-wise. And it says here, how can you incorporate more of what you are passionate about into your daily life? Trust your soul's whisperings. Let your passions draw you towards your dream life. I cannot imagine not heading towards what I was passionate about, not making those vision boards from the very beginning, or opening up to Reiki over 2 decades ago, right? Or not taking that spiritual path and meeting other like-minded people. I cannot even imagine that not being a part of my life. And I feel like that's how you feel about something you're passionate about. If it was stripped away from you, you would feel a huge grief, a huge loss. But I feel like this is something you are reigniting within your soul, Leo. Trust it. That is what I have for you, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If this was helpful, please hit that thumbs up button. Do drop your power animals in the comment section below the video. And thank you again so much for being here, Leo. Lots of love.